Christopher House is like my second home because I have a lot of friends here.
I think it's just, fosters families.
It's part of our lives because actually we are here most of the time.
Christopher House para mí me ha ayudado mucho, me ha abierto las puertas para mi hija y para mí.
I'm a better mom because of it. I'm trying to be a better parent for my little one growing up, and it's just wonderful.
I've been able to take advantage of some of their programs with the counseling, the parent counseling, and it's just been a blessing to me since I've been at Christopher House.
They've allowed us to have somewhere to go after school, to help us with academic things, to help us with social problems, and they've just made our futures a lot brighter. On October 15, 2007, Christopher House was joined by families, community neighbors, and elected officials to celebrate the grand opening of the Logan Square Family Resource Center. The center is part of the two-phase campaign for thriving families, whose aim is to better serve families and youth by bringing Christopher House's services to the heart of the Logan Square and Belmont-Craven communities.
This is a new generation for Christopher House. But it comes from a rich history of over 100 years of touching lives and touching families.
Christopher House has been providing services to help families become resilient and self-sufficient for more than 100 years. Today, Christopher House has grown to a multi-site center serving approximately 3,800 low-income children and their families each year. Their mission is simple: to create thriving families by strengthening and empowering children and parents. To accomplish this, Christopher House provides a web of support in the areas of early childhood education, youth development, teen parent and infant services, family support services, literacy, and social work services.
If violence is a disease, Christopher House is the inoculation. Christopher House inoculates these children, gives them self-confidence, gives them an idea of self-worth, leads them to understand how they can work with others.
We have attempted to create a warm, inviting environment for our children and their parents, many that come from economically disadvantaged families and frankly participate in many hardships just to get through each day.
If this were not here, if Christopher House were not here, I sincerely believe that many children would fall through the cracks.
And we see children transition from Christopher House to these elementary schools. It is obvious and measurable the success that these children are having in those schools.
It's important to note that every dollar spent on early childhood education, studies have shown, saves 17 times that amount in remedial education. This is the future labor force of this city and this country, and we must start to educate them early.
They're so well-rounded and they're so supported and their families are so supportive that what you see is, a whole person coming into being, and they support whole people.
I just learned I was pregnant with my son. I was 15 years old, didn't know much about being a mother, being a parent, anything like that, and I saw a billboard on the CTA bus. It said, "Pregnant, need help, call," something to that effect. And I called. After Christopher House, I'm pretty knowledgeable about my baby, about my body, things that were changing within me, things that changed within him. And it let me know that I wasn't alone. It let me know that there are other people in my shoes. There are other people who have been in my shoes. You can still make it, and that's the biggest thing that impacted my life.
Well, before I came to Gear Up, I was very nervous. I did not have as many friends. I was not as outgoing. For as long as I've been in the program, Gear Up has really opened my mind and made me think about the future more. What I want to do, the steps I need to take towards pursuing that particular career or job. Gear Up has also introduced me to new people, has allowed me to be more outgoing, and my grades wouldn't have been as improved as they are now. And overall, as a person, I've become a lot more mature.
Well, I found out about Christopher House through a clinic. I started off in the teen parenting program when I was pregnant. I remember the first couple of weeks were about how to handle with the violence around your child and what happens to kids who do experience violence. And I don't think I would have been the parent who I am today without Christopher House programs, because I was around a lot of bad people. I would be lost without Christopher House. I would be a total different person.
Many years ago, many families lived around the Greenview facility who attended our programs there. As areas developed, many of these families found a need to move further west into the Logan Square and Belmont-Cragun communities. As a result, we have decided that we need to move our programs closer to where the families that we serve live.
The number of children under 12 has increased 76% in Belmont-Cragun. There aren't facilities, there aren't social services, there are barely public schools to meet the need of families in that community.
Statistics show that young people who go through these programs are more likely to graduate from high school, are less likely to be in a life of crime, are more likely to have health insurance and be contributing members of society.
Christopher House has been an example of over 100 years here in the city of Chicago in making the difference in people's lives.
This is a prevention effort that's going to ensure that our crime rate is going to go down, that we're going to have productive adults who are contributors to society.
My parents didn't have a very formal education. My dad went through 8th grade, my mom through 6th grade, but they sent their son to the Congress of the United States. I think that speaks volumes, and now we have an institution that can help parents just like mine continue to make that commitment and send future mayors and future congressmen and future presidents. From here, that's where that's going to come. That's what Christopher House is all about.
Christopher House has a large vision to make a very significant and measurable impact on low-income children and families in Chicago. We cannot do that alone.
The bottom line here is at Christopher House, we do more with less because we start early. 92% of the children that come to Christopher House leave it prepared emotionally, socially, and cognitively to attend kindergarten.
It's just been a blessing to me since I've been at Christopher House.
Because Head Start was here for my family, my mother got her high school diploma. She now has a college degree. I've got a law degree. I think that says it all.
I mean, I've definitely been inspired to give back to Christopher House for all the things they've done for me, for my family, for all the people around me. Anything, I mean, as soon as I can, I'm definitely going to help with this program.
I'm hoping that one day, as it's helping me to move forward in my training and my career, that one day that I can give back to them just as much as they've given to me.